Hello there, mates. This be ClickClax01 with ya for another deck profile. Okay, I'm gonna stop the British accent now. So anyway, yeah. So welcome back. I agreed that I would do one of my Exodia deck profiles. So I will. For in this video, I'm going to do my Super Stall Exodia deck, which wins me quite a few duels. However, there are two main decks that I have a problem with. One of them is Six Samurai, one of them is Gladiator Beast, and actually another one is Dark Worlds because of they run card destruction so fucking often. But in order to help sort of counteract that, I have a Pot of Avarice in case of pieces of Exodia go to the graveyard. As you can see, most of the cards are pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to really go through them. The only one that you want to note is like Gift Card and Hope for Escape, and if you know what they do, then you're set. And I'm going to start the music right here, so we can start doing some of the examples. And it's mainly just stall for being able to draw cards, pumping up their life points so I can draw big cards with Hope for Escape, and also protecting myself like with one day of peace with Scarecrow, etc. So my first example. I'm on the wrong person. So yeah, so this is like the typical setup that you would see. As you can see already, I've got like Upstart Goblin, Pod of Duality, Jar of Greed, Threatening War. So I've got stalls as well as being able to draw cards. So let me just take you through the first thing. So in this deck, if you use Pot of Duality and you see a piece of Exodia, you always want the piece of Exodia. In my deep draw dragon deck, if you see a piece of Exodia, you don't want the Exodia. Just FYI. But this one, you can take as long as you want, and you're more than likely going to win the duel because you're just going to piss off your opponent so freaking much. Like, look, one day of peace, you get a draw card as well as you get to protect yourself. So I don't even have to activate Threatening War. But, you know, if necessary, like, oh, for instance, this faggot. God, I hate Silent Swordsman level 7 if he were to get it out. I think that's just level 5 right now. But, yeah, so the whole objective is pumping up your opponent's life points. So that way, like, if you activate 2 Hope for Escapes at one time, I've drawn, like, let me think. I've drawn, like, 4 cards once for one of them, and then the other one you get to draw another 4 cards. So you end up, like, going through your deck pretty dang fast with Hope for Escape. And that's the whole point, is not to just draw one by one by one. Because obviously they ban cards like Pot of Bead, which allow you to draw cards at a time. So I'm really just explaining my hand. Swift Scarecrow is also nice, because I used to run Battle Fader a lot in this deck. And my opponent will... See, right there, I just drew 3 cards because of that. Wait, hold on. Do the math, David. You only drew 2 or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Anyway, Battle Fader isn't that good because, I mean, they can obviously Solemn Judgment it or Solemn Warning it, but I still run him just in case if they have like a Shien or something that can stop my spells and traps. So I still have a way to protect myself, but I do occasionally run into that faggot that will just negate everything that I do. And card car is really good in this deck, and this is the Exodia deck that I'm talking about that I would run a card car. In my other one, where I try to FTK, I would not because he just slows you down. But in this one, since you don't summon monsters except for maybe Sangan anyway, you might as well run him. I don't even run Sangan in my other deck because he's just too slow, in my opinion. And see how he can't do anything because you just keep stopping him over and over and over again. And the only reason why I have Torrential Tribute in this deck, and I do also have a Heavy Storm to get rid of back row, is because sometimes they like to Monster Reborn my pieces of Exodia to their side of the field, and when they do that, I can just Torrential the field, and then use Pot of Avarice to put it back in my deck. I don't even run Dark Factory of Mask, whatever it's called. See, there you go. Victory by the effect of Exodia. That happened in 11 turns. So as you can see, it's a pretty slow deck. My other deck is the Deep Draw, and the longest it's ever taken me to win was 8 turns, and that's because I just had really shitty hands the first 3 turns. That's the only reason why. So that means it was 4 turns his and 4 turns mine, and that made 8-fold. That made 8 turns altogether. So, as you can see, I'm protected no matter what the hell he does. I mean, I go through my cards so quickly that there's just nothing really that can stop me. So This deck is pretty self-explanatory. I actually made this deck because my friend, when I went over to his house, he saw me playing YGO Pro, and he's like, wow, it reminds me of the glory days, you know, back when I used to actually be into Yu-Gi-Oh! So he really wanted to play. So I was like, you know what, alright, that's fine. So I made him a deck that he because he obviously knows Exodia, because he's from the good old days, back in the Legend of the Blue Eyes. And so I just pretty much made a deck that he would know exactly how to run. This is a very simple deck. I mean, if you have a brother who's like a freaking chimpanzee, if he can press buttons, then he can play this deck, because it is not hard to follow at all. So, and that's what I did pretty well. And he ran this deck, and these are actually all of his gameplays right now that I've shown you. I just pretty much was there to, if he had any questions, he could ask me, and see how he has 4 pieces of Exodia right now. I mean, I'm probably going to get my next piece of Exodia really soon, because he usually won the matches pretty quickly compared to what a normal face-off would be. Yeah, see, there you go. Win by the victory by the effect of Exodia. So, it's a really easy deck to follow. Look, he won in 6 turns. Can you believe that? Yeah, that's freaking crazy. So I'm going to be quiet and sort of just let you watch it and listen to the music for a while. Oh, real quickly though, if you're going to run this deck, one thing you have to know is I sort of modified it. I took out most of the threatening roars now and replaced them by, I don't remember. I replaced, oh yeah, I took out the 3 threatening roars, replaced them by 2 battle faders and another card. I can't remember. But it was because I ran into a 6 samurai deck that completely shut down. And another thing is, if you're going to run Threatening Roar, you need to activate it before the battle phase. You have to chain it to the end of the main phase, otherwise you won't get the effect. So, just FYI on that. And look, I've got 4 pieces of Exodia already, and you know what's going to happen next, because I've got a Hope for Escape and a Wabaku, so I'm safe. Anyway. Between the 2 Hope for Escapes and the card car, I should be able to easily draw into Exodia right here. Because I'm about to draw... I'm about to draw 3 cards apiece for each Hope for Escape, so that's 6 cards. And he's not going to stand a chance. And plus I was still protected because of Wabaku, even if I didn't draw it, but I will. I'm almost guaranteed. Yeah, see, there you go. Victory by the effect of Exodia. That's like the sweetest way to win, in my opinion. It says, victory by the effect of Exodia. But, oh, dang. Look at that hand. Dude, I wonder who's going to win this one. Next player's turn, draw. Oh, snap. Yeah, my friend made that deck because he wanted to piss off some people. So he ran a 6-card deck, which was pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, so here's another example. You've got the protection of Threatening Roar as well as Swift Scarecrow, so... Oh yeah, this is that faggot that kept veiling all my cars. Which is really annoying, which means that it takes me longer to win than this, than I should have anyway. So here are these Thunder Kids that I was talking about before. When I was talking about TG Halberd Cannon being able to negate their effects. Yeah, they're really annoying. But it doesn't matter, I still whoop this guy's ass, because, I mean, I'm running Exodia. What can stop Exodia? Not even an Egyptian god. Yeah, okay, I'll be back later. So I actually do something that you probably wouldn't have wanted to do, and that is after I get the piece of Exodia from Sangan's effect, I activate a Swift Scarecrow. In a worst case scenario, you might want to hold on to the Swift Scarecrow until next turn if you don't get, you know, something that could actually block them from your life points. But I just happened to draw 1 day of peace, so I got really lucky on that draw. Yeah, wow, just repeated myself right there. I also added 2 Battle Faders just so that, well, actually Battle Fader gets removed from play when he leaves the field, doesn't he? So I guess the Battle Fader wouldn't help in that much in terms of being able to use Pot of Ashes' effect of them being in the graveyard. So like right here, I have to play a piece of Exodia face down in order to protect my life point. Otherwise I would be done. And thankfully, he's kind of, you know, protects. But I think I also draw a Swift Scarecrow out of this Jar of Greed, which is pretty dang lucky. And you don't want to have to depend on that type of luck. I think that's the reason why I named this Lucky. Yeah, see, I just drew a Swift Scarecrow, so that protects me. And I can get back that piece of Exodia using Pot of Avarice. But, yeah, this is just really super stall. Look, I'm in the 14th turn right now, and I'm still alive somehow. So I'm protecting my life points at all costs. And a card, and then he Valors his card, and I get pissed. And so obviously I'm in my 20th turn right now. Longest freaking Exodia game I've ever freaking played. But thankfully between these and I just protected my life points again, I will be able to draw the next piece of Exodia. Because I just got 4 draw cards right there. So that's pretty sweet. And yeah. This is, I think this is going to be, I might have one more video on an Exodia match with this. So add a Swift Scarecrow. Yeah, always add a Swift Scarecrow like I was saying before. If you get that. Unless you have a piece of Exodia, obviously. Because you want the stall. You want to stall for as long as possible. And I end my turn right here just because all he has to do is attack that Saint right there. Excuse me. And I get the 5th piece of... No, Kaiser, I'm not letting you in right now. Oh, that's me. Never mind. Yeah, so thankfully he attacks it, get the last piece of Exodia to my hand. That's the only reason why I run Sangan in this deck is because you don't really normal summon anyway. So yeah, that was the last game actually. So I've got this video clip right here where my friend was playing against this guy who had like modded it or something. And he was like, whoa! When he drew all those pieces of Exodia. He's like, whoa, whoa, what just happened? But yeah, it was pretty funny. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions on this type of Exodia deck, I wouldn't recommend running it. It's pretty good, but it's really only for beginners. I have a different Exodia deck, which is like super fast. I've FTK'd a couple times. So yeah, but I'll show you in my next, or in a couple of videos in the future, the type of Exodia deck that I would recommend you running, because it's super fast and you would love it. So anyway, be sure to post your comments in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and see y'all later. Bye.